It won't work. Not because it was private that it worked. Oh, it's live. It actually did work. Well, we'll get this out of my mouth then. Yeah, 101.5 still. So we aren't going anywhere up. I know it's not going down. Greetings, everyone. Look at the chat room filling up. Yeah, there's nobody there at all. Stuck in the middle of a blizzard here. I thought I'd get on here live and give everybody an update just because stuck in the middle of a blizzard here. The wife took her two senior age students, senior class students to school this morning in the middle of a blizzard, which started last night, that it was a weather advisory, do not drive. And they went to the school to have a pancake breakfast this morning. And she said they'd be home at 2 o'clock. Well, I didn't hear from them till 4, and they were at the bar a couple miles from here because they can't get here because the roads are all snowed in. And they had even gotten stuck. And I said, well, were you able to get out? And she said, yeah. And I said, you just shoveled, then you? Shoveled it and you were out? He said, well, kind of, sort of. I said, what do you mean kind of, sort of? And she said, well, didn't have any shovels. Now, seriously, who goes out in their car without a shovel in the trunk in the wintertime? So I told her that I wasn't going to get in the Bobcat and plow out what really equates to about 3 miles of road so they could get here, and told her it'd be cheaper to just go into town and get a room for the night. So that's what they decided to do. And I'm here alone. I just took my temperature because I'm waiting for 5:30 to come so I can take a Tylenol. Because that's the answer to my side effects of my chemotherapy, is to not let the temperature go above 102 and to take a Tylenol, one Tylenol every 6 hours, and keep it from going under or over 102. And if it goes over 102, then go to the hospital. Oh, thanks. So I've been doing that for the last week. Who we got on here? Gizzard Gary, the Gatekeeper, Gary Lewis, no Playboys, and Beast Hunter 7. So I thought, since I had to wait for a half an hour, I've been playing with this for 15 minutes to try and make it work. Since I had to wait for a half an hour for my before I could take that thing, I would do this. The Tylenol, yeah, that, excuse me, high-tech pain reliever they're giving me to solve this problem. So there you go with that. Yeah, I'm more than showing my age. Not doing good at all. And having this eight week now we're up to 8 weeks. Was it 8 weeks? It was the 12th, I think the 12th of January, when I went in complaining about the hard spot in the lymph node in my neck. 12th of January. So that puts us at what? That's not quite. So it's a good 6 weeks anyway. Saw 3 doctors in the process during the 2.5 week period or 3 week period, and finally convinced the oncologist to do what the radiation oncologist wrote up in her report, which is to give me a PET scan at 3 months, which would have been the 1st of February. So he ordered it for February 6th. So after going to him in the end of last month, I was quite excited because I'd get my PET scan and I wouldn't have to worry about this pain got this pain in the lymph node right here that's bugging the bejeebers out of me every day. Along with it, I got a pain here and a pain here and a pain there. And you notice how they triangulate on that. And along with that, I haven't been able to hear out of this ear for 6 weeks. So the answer is everybody felt my lymph node and said they don't feel anything. And they said, we checked your scans. The last scan, there's nothing there. Well, yeah, that's why I want to do another scan. You see, that's how it works. Because if it's my understanding is if it's smaller than 5 millimeters, that scan's not going to pick it up. And at least that's my understanding. At any rate, so that and their total failure to find the lymph node that had cancer over here, which was there for 7 months. I even had doctors field this area to check it 7 days before the PET scan. And the day that PET scan found it, I could lift my arm, and from 20 feet away, you could see this big, huge, round golf ball sitting there. I mean, you could visually see it. You didn't need a PET scan to figure that one out. So I'm kind of down on them right now. Yeah. As my motto is that St. Cloud Hospital is the place you go to die. Of course, I have no choice but to go there because of the insurance company, which I'm mad at also because on the night before my PET scan that was scheduled for February 6th, I got a phone call saying the insurance company isn't going to allow you to have the PET scan till March 9th, which is a Saturday, so it won't happen until the following week. And the reason they're doing that is it'll probably take me 3 PET scans to pay enough to reach my deductible. And so by doing that, bumping it out to 4 months, they're going to skate the whole year without having to pay for a PET scan. And there's another benefit too. If they leave the cancer tumor in there long enough, I might just die and it'll be over with. So getting kind of pissed about it, because if this isn't a cancer tumor and there's something's going on in there, something's going on. And I didn't think it would be a big deal to get the PET scan, since the radiation oncologist wrote it up in her report that I should be given a PET scan at 3 months. And my oncologist finally buckled under and scheduled one at 3 months. So at some point you get pissed, especially you go back in the originally, this all started with my doctor of 40 years back in September of 2017, which I had a physical and I had a mole in the back. And I said, I think that mole's cancerous. Oh, look at that mole. And he looked at it and said, don't worry about it. You see, all the way through this. And then when they discovered the mole and I went into the hospital to have the surgery done, I actually had an argument with the doctor that was putting the tracer in the mole in the back, because there were 2 moles. This one a little off center and the one alongside of it. This one was malignant. This one was benign. And it was like I was talking to a freaking wall, trying to get him to understand it was this one that the tracer had to go into and not this one. Till the day I die, I'm gonna figure he put it in this one, because the tracer only went to this side, which is where that mole was, to the left. The other one was just left of center. And when in fact, that cancer went to both sides. So the lymph node that had cancer over here just sat and grew for 7 months. So there, I'm done with my rant. So I'm mad at the Coburn Cancer Center. I'm mad at the St. Cloud Hospital, and I was mad at somebody else. Oh yeah, the insurance company. But you're going to be mad at them anyway. So I can't fault them at all, because they're just doing what you expect them to do. So, but I expect the hospital to actually try and save somebody, not. And it's like the old joke. You know what the difference between a doctor and God is? Well, God doesn't think he's a doctor, you see. And if you go into the doctor and you tell them exactly what the problem is, then they'll say, no, it's not, because they didn't discover it. So no, it's not. That's not. No, that's not happening. So there. Now my rant's over. So yeah. So my wife's gone into town. Hopefully, she was going to stay in the bar till the plow came by. And then they're going to drive into town and get a hotel room. So hopefully she made it into town. I told her for the $50 for the hotel room, it's cheaper than me driving the Bobcat for 3 hours or 3 miles down, because I walked down, which was fun too, at 30-mile-an-hour wind out there and 5 degrees. And I walked a mile to check the road, and it was bad the first mile. And there was 2 more miles to go. And actually, it wasn't so bad walking one way. But on the way back, going into the wind was not fun. And then I checked my temperature when I came in, it was 101. So there's the life of Mr. Holster. What a fun day. Yeah, that's a fun Sunday. There you go. Now I'm done with my rant. I feel much better too.